this week's episode of the 505 Sports Venture Program. I am Kurt Roth. I'm president and founder of the organization. And before we get to our first special guest, I just want to talk a little bit about our NIL, Name, Image, and Likeness collective movement. The landscape has changed in college sports, and now student athletes can receive compensation for their name, image, and likeness while they are eligible. They can also have agents. So the whole groundwork has changed. So what we do at the 505 Sports Venture Foundation is we create opportunities for student athletes primarily, and so far only, at UNM. We feel that a strong name, image, and likeness program leads to success in the classroom and on the playing field, which is beneficial for, obviously, the student athletes, the athletic department, the university as a whole, and then the community, the business community, and the state in Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. So what we're asking you to do as an individual and or a business is join our movement. We are now in the midst of what we call our March to a Million. From grassroots membership to high-end business, our goal is to raise $1 million in the year 2023. So we're quite a ways, we're on the right path. We've done quite a bit of fundraising so far, but we need your help. So I'm asking everyone to check out our website, 505sports.org. That's 505sports.org. Check it out, join us, and we want to get this thing going. We'll be back in just a minute with our special guest.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. We've got a special guest in the studio, a local guy, a big-time baseball player, produced here from Albuquerque. I want to introduce him. He's in his fourth year. He's a starting shortstop at UNM. Chase Wisemoon, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, well, great to have you. I want to first get a little background for people who don't know you. You're born and raised in Albuquerque, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously you're risen to the top of Division I baseball, playing at a program like New Mexico. You're starting. How long have you started at UNM?
Ever since my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in a 4-year. You'll be a 4-year starter coming up.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So when did you first realize? Let's go backwards. Not when did you realize. Let's go backwards. When were you started to play competitive baseball? How old were you?
I'd say I was about In 7th grade.
Okay.
7th, 8th grade was when I really started to like take it serious with competitive baseball and travel ball and showcases and all that.
And where'd you go to school?
I went to Albuquerque Academy.
Okay. So you went to Albuquerque Academy from what grade did you start there?
6th grade, 6th
All right,
through
so
12th grade.
6th through 12th.
Yeah.
When did you start playing at varsity baseball?
8th grade, I got called up and I played varsity from 8th grade all the way on until senior year.
Okay. So obviously, how many other 8th graders played on varsity?
0.
Okay. How many 9th graders played on varsity?
I think there's one.
One, okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you were a top-notch ball player from the get-go. Okay. Did you know you wanted to, at that time, or was there a time when you realized you wanted to keep playing baseball beyond high school?
Yeah, I think that was, it was always my dream to play professional baseball. Ever since I was 3 years old, whenever I picked up a baseball bat in the backyard and messing around with the ball, I always knew that this is my life. Like, I want this to be my future no matter what. And so I was going full force at it ever since I picked up a bat. So, yeah, I always wanted it to be my future.
Okay, cool. So it still is.
Yeah.
All right, it still is. Let's go backwards to take a little different angle at this. Did you have any idols or heroes or players you wanted to emulate when you were in 8th grade?
In 8th grade, yeah. I honestly would say Alex Bregman, just because he's a local kid, and I was best friends with his younger brother, AJ. Great family, great guy, and, Alex is an unbelievable player, so he's from here, and he was easy to relate to because he went to the same school from Albuquerque and all that, and so yeah, I always wanted to be like Alex.
Cool. So I'm a Yankee fan, and of course I'm well acquainted with Alex. He's quite a pain in the ass, I think. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that. I just did. When did you first cross paths with him? How did that happen? And where was he? Was he still in high school, or was he at LSU, or was he a pro?
No, he was already a pro. I was just mainly best friends with AJ. Like, he was like my best friend all the way through high school. When I met him, he was 2 years older than me. So he was a sophomore when I was an 8th grader, and I was hanging out with the older guys on the team and all that. And then I just crossed paths with Alex when I would go out to Houston, watch some games, and then he'd help me hit. I'd FaceTime him here and there and send him videos of my swing, and he liked how hard I worked, and I really appreciated him taking the time to kind of help me with my swing and all that. So, that's kind of my relationship with the Bregmans.
Well, that's a great guy to emulate. No doubt about it. And hey, Alex, when you watch this, I want you to give us a call when you're done kicking butt in the postseason. We need a couple ambassadors for our NIL program here in New Mexico, and I know as a native son you'd be really interested. So let's talk about your younger days before UNM. You're in high school. Are there any local folks that influenced you, coaches, anybody else who helped you out?
I'd say Ray Birmingham really helped me out from the get-go. He started recruiting me when I was a sophomore in high school, and he's a phenomenal guy. I still talk to him till this day, and so he kind of guided me through the process of playing college baseball and kind of instilled a good attitude in me and a hardworking attitude.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think anyone in Albuquerque has ever had a negative thing to say about Birmingham. He's a great guy. He's a supporter of our program. I consider him an advisor. So that's some great leadership. Anybody else that you followed? What about at the high school level? Who'd you play for?
I played for Chris Alexander my junior and senior year, and he actually set the home run record at UNM. So he was a great coach. I loved playing for him, and it was cool that I was already committed to UNM, and it was cool that I was being coached by a former player of UNM. So it was sweet. He was a great coach as well.
What was the most important thing he gave you?
I'd just say he kind of let me just be me. He kind of let me play my play style and wasn't too strict on that. He knew that I am always fired up on the field, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So he didn't really try and control that as much as other coaches do, and kind of just let me play how I wanted to play.
All right. Well, great. We're going to let Chase be Chase in the next segment. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with more. Thanks for hanging in.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
No makeup. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us. We're in the studio here on Central Avenue, ProView Studios, overlooking beautiful Central Avenue in downtown Albuquerque. And we're with our special guest tonight, Lobo shortstop Chase Weisenborn. Chase, thanks for hanging.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. We're going to get back to baseball in a second. But Chase, you're a real good student, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
You were good at academy, and you've excelled in the classroom at UNM.
Yes.
Okay, so I know the future includes baseball after UNM. We're well aware of that, but you've actually have some consideration, at least a basic understanding that there needs to be something after baseball.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, where'd you get that? Why? Why do you think that? I mean, what
Well,
occurred to you?
I mean, my mom has her PhD, so I mean, academics has always been huge in my family. My brother's, I'd like to call him a genius, and especially compared to me. But no, I'm getting my degree right now in finance, and I'm looking. I mean, obviously, I'm going to see where baseball takes me. I'm giving that my all right now, and after baseball, I kind of want to do something with like investment banking or investment analysis or private equity, somewhere along those lines, and kind of take advantage of my degree that I'm getting here.
Okay, so you want to get into the financial world, basically. Obviously, there's no rush, and there's a baseball career here, clearly, that will extend, I believe, as a high-end baseball fan.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of guys come through UNM. I roomed with the captain of the baseball team in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some amazing talent, both on the UNM field, and in those days, we played Arizona State. 1 year, Arizona State sent 9 guys got drafted. 8 of them made the major leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, the talent we've seen. I know talent. If you want to keep playing, you'll keep playing. And we wish you the best in that. But let's talk a little more about, do you have just a general idea, or is there anything specific you've thought about in relationship to finance?
I honestly think there's just a general idea right now. Because this year I'm taking my concentration courses on finance. So I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I really think investment banking would be something that I'd be interested in to do after baseball. But yeah, I definitely have to think a little bit more on that.
Okay, well, there's no rush.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're in your senior year, and we were talking about this off camera. All this stuff that happened with COVID and an extra year. You don't have that. You're the first class that doesn't have that COVID year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But COVID played a big impact both at Academy and UNM, or just when you got to UNM?
Well, I lost my senior year season at Academy, and then I got into UNM as a freshman, and it was already backed up. There was 72 guys in the fall and competing for 40-man roster and obviously 9 positions on the field. So I was like, wow, I really got to earn my way. So in that freshman year was an abbreviated season. And then everyone else got COVID years that were already in college and redshirt on top of redshirt years. So it completely clogged up the entire system.
Wow, I wasn't aware of that. The backup, that's just yet something else that your generation experienced.
Yeah.
That's tough stuff. What about not playing for 2 years? What was that like?
I mean, it was tough for sure. It was weird because, I mean, your entire life it's baseball all the time. It's either spring season with your school, summer ball season, fall season. So you're always baseball year round until pretty much December. You know what I mean? So it was definitely weird because it was like, what do I do with myself right now? I feel like I'm just constantly training, like constantly working out. Like, when will I get to play?
Well, did it feel weird when you finally played?
Yeah, it felt weird because there's no fans in the stands. So it was like, felt like we were just practicing, but it counted as a real game.
So do you think your game suffered?
No.
No. Okay,
Not at all.
that's because of the hard work,
Yeah.
the attention,
Yeah.
the great coaching, right?
Yeah,
You had at
great
UNM
coaching,
and Academy and all that. Okay, well, we're up against the another advertisement here, so we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in a minute. Thanks for hanging with us.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging with us, and we're back here in beautiful ProView Studios, high over Central Avenue in downtown Albuquerque, and I'm here with my guest, Chase Weisenborn.
Yes, sir.
One of the most mispronounced names, I'm not sure why. When I asked about Chase last week and when I first met him, everybody pronounced your name differently. I don't know why that is.
Always.
I think that's a comment on the education system in the United States. It's reading. It's very simple. Anyway, all right. So now you're in your senior year at UNM. You're starting shortstop. Mm-hmm. I expect that you'll start again this year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, my experience, as I mentioned before, my roommate in the late 70s was captain of the baseball team. Mm-hmm. Competition was tough in the fall because you kind of wanted to get a spot. You kind of had to really earn your spot in the fall. Is that still true?
Yeah, that's when you have to earn it.
All right, so tell us about what goes on, what went on this fall, what's going on, and when does it end in the fall?
Well, this fall we have about 43 guys, and it's pretty much just a tryout. The entire 4 months is just it's a constant tryout. So you got to play at your highest level every single day. So we're playing games, inter-squatting, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and it goes on all the way until the very beginning of November. So at the very end of October this month, we'll do like a World Series where we play a 3-game series and see which team wins. It's a cherry silver. So we're competing to win.
Okay, so when did you guys start? In August?
Yeah, we started in
All right, you
August.
start in August, you go to November, and you see the same 40, 42, 43 guys, right?
Yeah.
You get sick of each other?
No, honestly, it makes our relationship stronger with each other because at first it's a little weird. Everyone's side-eyeing each other, trying to get to know one another because it's 43 guys in the locker room is a lot of guys. And so it's a little weird at first, but then you start working your tail off with one another and you become really close and they become your best friends for the 10 months of school.
Okay. All right. So now we're in mid-October.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, we're coming down the home stretch. You just had something that was referred to at the baseball golf outing the other day as Pro Day.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
We had Pro Day where they run us through a pro-style workout. About 15 to 20 major league scouts come in and kind of evaluate us. And so we have to run the 60. We have to, and all infielders take ground balls at short, throw them across the diamond. They take velos on how hard you're throwing the ball, and then they watch your BP. And then after that, we played an 8-inning game, and they just evaluate us.
Okay, so now you're kind of auditioning for future. Obviously, you still have a whole season for you still ahead of you, and a real chance to prove yourself or play at the highest level. Do you feel pressure in a pro day?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because, you work your tail off for this every single day. So it's just another day, and you just go out there and compete. And baseball's a game of failure. So they're obviously not going to draft you off of an October 14th in the fall. You know what I mean? So you have the entire season to prove yourself. And if you have a crazy season and a bad pro day, then they're still going to look at you and want to draft you.
Well, I love the fact, as an old-time baseball guy, baseball is a sport of failure. You bat 400, which no one does. No one's done that in the major leagues in 70 years. You make out 6 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
So how do you get that in your head that it is a game of failure, but every bat at bat, every ground ball, every fielding play is a new opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
How do you avoid the feeling like I'm more likely to fail, especially at bat?
Well, you definitely have to have a short memory, and obviously it's tough failing all the time. It's frustrating at times when you work so hard at something and you keep failing, but you just honestly have to trust the process and trust. You can't be result oriented, and that's something I've struggled with. The beginning of my career was being so result oriented. Because in high school and all that, I was always successful, and same with club ball. And then you get to college, Division I, and you're facing guys that throwing disgusting sliders and fastballs and all that. So you're definitely it's inevitable. You're going to fail. So you just have to deal with it, and you got to be strong.
Cool. All right. Now I flash back to my days as a roommate of the captain of the Lobo baseball team. We were blown away. The civilians in the house, the guys who were just going to school. My senior year, we were trying to graduate, and Johnny Cifelli, who was the captain of the UNM baseball team, started to practice as soon as the semester came back. It was winter, so we had some indoors, outdoors, cold weather, and then in February, you played like 50 games until the end, and go to school. And travel. How does that work? Well, first, when do you start? When do you start playing games I think you go to Arizona.
Yeah, we start out in Surprise, and I want to say that's February, it's either 15th or 17th, somewhere around there. And then our last regular season game is at the very end of May. So you're playing, and we also have midweeks, so you're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and some weeks Tuesday, Wednesday as well. So, and on top of that, traveling, and you have homework and presentations and all that type of stuff. So you definitely have to stay on top of like your school and everything. And it's a challenge for sure, especially with the time commitment that baseball is demanding out of you. So it's definitely tough.
There's no spare time, and you'd like to have some. Do you have any social life?
With the guys, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you better like them.
Yeah.
All right. So what is? Let's give a brief discussion about what our team looks like. First, did we have any significant losses?
We lost a few guys that started every day. We lost Lenny Ashby Jr. He was our best bat last year. He 3-hole, and he was our left fielder. And then we lost Jeffrey David. He went to Sam Houston. and he was a great player as well. So we lost a few guys, but we definitely have a great squad this year, and we're working hard, and it's looking good. It's looking really
Excellent.
good.
Well, that's what we were talking about it again off camera. The transfer portal is a big deal with all college sports at this level, and unlike the past where if you transferred you had to sit out a year, you can just go. Okay. So is that factor? Were you approached? Did you have any opportunities to go, or did you not even want to look at that?
I honestly didn't even want to look at it because I'm in a great spot. I mean, playing at home in front of my family and in a place that I've grown up in, it means a lot to me. I mean, I wear New Mexico across my chest with great pride, and so it definitely means a lot to me to be able to put on that jersey and go out there and play baseball in my hometown.
That's great, guys. Chase has a contract with 505 Sports Venture Foundation, and our goal is to promote these student athletes in conjunction with individuals and especially local businesses. So here we have a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve for New Mexico. Local talent, top-notch kid, great student. We need to cultivate those type of guys. There's 100 other Chases around the state. We need to develop our NIL program. We need to make this a destination place, UNM. And we can do that. We can do that with your help. So again, we need everybody involved. 505sports.org. 505sports.org. Join our movement. Let's get together. Let's get this going. We need your help. All right, Chase, before we go, prediction on the season next spring.
I'm going to say we're Mountain West champions.
Mountain West champion. Okay, that's pretty good. They've just given us a sign we have to close, and I want to thank you for coming here. All right, we're Mountain West champions. Who's our competition? Who's the top two teams we got to beat?
I'd say San Diego State is up there, and I'd say San Jose as well.
Wow, San Jose. So what's the secret for beating them?
Honestly, just keep working hard and play a full 9 innings of baseball. There's been times where you lose it in the 8th or 9th inning, and it comes back to bite you. So,
okay, we've got now 1 minute. I've always been dying to ask this question because I watch baseball in Colorado as an old guy, and balls fly out. San Jose and San Diego are at sea level. Is there a difference with the pitching that they pitch in at a mile high and then go to sea level? Is there some advantage for those teams that don't play at high altitude?
I'd say yes, because their pitching is always better. Because I mean, it's hard to recruit pitching to a place that's a mile high and where the balls are going to fly much further than they would at sea level. So they always have good pitching and they play small ball really well. So it's definitely a different style of baseball, and you got to compete and kind of adapt right on the spot.
All right. Well, there you heard it, guys. We need to develop our NIL program to get those pitchers here, to get those guys who are afraid of giving up 500-foot home runs on broken bats. We need your help. So, again, 505sports.org. Chase, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate
Have a great year, and we'll see you again. I promise we'll have you on.
I appreciate
That's
it.
it. We'll see you next week with another special guest. Thanks for staying with us.